On behalf of Monroe Community College and our partners, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you to the grand opening of the Regional Finger Lakes Workforce Development Center, also known as the Forward Center. We are especially grateful to welcome New York Governor Kathy Hochul, Monroe County Executive Adam Bellum, and Suny Interim Chancellor Dr. Debra Stanley, all to the Forward Center. They helped make it a reality for employers and learners from all walks of life. Together, we have achieved under one roof a regional hub for education, innovation, collaboration, and excellence as much needed resource for residents across all zip codes throughout the Finger Lakes region, those who want a job that is less vulnerable to future displacement, a family-sustaining career waiting for them upon completion of their training, and flexible short-term training options that prepare them for high-demand, technology-oriented careers, not in 1 or 2 years, but quicker timeframes. I invite you to walk through the 5th and 6th floors for a firsthand look at the innovation and collaboration at work that will move our workforce into the future, including a flame-resistant lab display that supports skilled trades training, mobile robotics, and a cutting-edge smart factory that simulates production system in an advanced manufacturing workplace. Painstaking attention was given to the creating of a facility with a community in mind, one that accommodates the range of students and industries we so proudly serve. The Forward Center represents years of hard work by so many people and an incredible partnership to fulfill our shared vision for the future of our community. From our partners at every level of government and in private industry to our community leaders, we appreciate the leadership of our special guests who are in this room. Please hold your applause until after the introductions. President, Monroe County Legislator, and member of the MCC Board of Trustees, Sabrina Lamar. Monroe County Legislator, Howard Mafucci. Representatives from the offices of Senators Cooney, Brooke, Gallivan, and Assembly members Bronson, Meeks, Clark, and Lunsford. Rochester Department of Recreation and Human Services Commissioner, Dr. Shirley Green. Regional Director, Office of Senator Schumer, Chris Zeltman. Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation Director for Young Adult and Working Families, Susan Dundon. Former Lieutenant Governor and President of the Rochester Chamber of Commerce and SUNY trustee, Bob Duffy. President, Rochester Building and Construction Trades, Grant Malone. Genesee County Economic Development Center Vice President of Workforce, Business and Workforce Development, Chris Swazi. Faculty Council of Community Colleges President, SUNY trustee and MCC professor, Christy Woods. MCC Board of Trustees Chair, Alan Williams. MCC trustee, Connie Walker. MCC student trustee, Paula Barlow. MCC cabinet members in general, including specifically MCC Vice President of Economic Development and Workforce and Career Technical Education, Dr. Robin Cole, who officially starts 1 month from today. And MCC Foundation Board member, Dave Benetti. Greater Rochester Enterprise President, CEO, Matt Hurlbut. And other guests will also be introduced throughout the program. Can we applaud them all? one of the Ford Center's strongest partners in advancing workforce development and among the biggest advocates from the outset is Governor Kathy Hochul. A $5.4 million grant through the Upstate Revitalization Initiative enabled us to proceed in creating state-of-the-art environments necessary to rapidly respond to employers' evolving workforce demands. Collective efforts of the governor, the state legislator, and Suny were all vital collaborations. They all have truly had the best interests of our entire region at heart. We are deeply grateful to Governor Hochul and Empire State Development for their funding support and their investment in our students, the next generation of workers. This is Governor Hochul's second visit to the Ford Center. Please join me in welcoming her back.
Good morning, and also I just want to welcome you as well. It's so great to be back in here. I was here literally just a couple months ago announcing some of our significant initiatives to support the Finger Lakes region, and I had a chance to peek around the corner and see how it looked, and I just knew I had to come back for this really magical day. I do feel like I'm in like mission control or something here. Like I was like some button I can push and actually have real control over the state. I mean, that'd be amazing. First of all, Deanna, Bert, and Anna, the year that you've served as president has been transformative, and I want to thank you for your leadership. I had the great privilege of working with your predecessor back a decade ago when I was a member of Congress, and we literally sat down with leadership from MCC, local businesses, local labor unions, and said, let's focus on workforce development. So this is a point of personal pride for me to see the fruition of this Ford Center and to know it has a leader like you. So thank you so much. And Adam Bellum has been at the forefront of these conversations for a long time as well. And we talk about things like the pandemic and getting through that, but at the bottom of it all is about how we bring back our communities in a way where people feel they have possibility and hope. And I thank you for your leadership with this as well, County Executive Bellum, and also the investments from Suny, Debra, Stanley. We chatted about women having to step into roles unexpectedly. You've done an incredible job. I want to thank you for your stewardship of the Suny system as well as our Chancellor. Bob Duffy, always someone I can call on for advice, and always sends uplifting messages, and especially during the Buffalo massacre, which was actually not that far from possibly manifesting itself here right in Rochester, and that sends bone-chilling feelings through our bodies. We think about that, but thank you for your encouragement and your kind words as always. Also, Susan Dundon, you need to get to know. She's a representative of the Ralph C. Wilson Foundation, one of the most generous philanthropies I've ever encountered. They have made it a personal calling to invest in underserved communities. I saw first the work in Buffalo, but to Rochester and Niagara Falls. So please convey to Mary Wilson and everyone else how grateful we are for you always continuing to find ways to lift communities up as well. I also want to give a special shout out to Vinny Esposito, who shepherds these projects through. It's like the birth of the baby, but also it takes there's a long time in coming before we get to that point. So the genesis, years ago, this was envisioned for a space that had just been almost a mockery of this community when you think about it. I mean, I remember the days when I lived down the road and we were the blue-collar town, and we were so envious of the white-collar people who worked at Bausch and Lomb and Kodak and worked in buildings like this because, it just seemed to have a little something on us. You grew up in Buffalo, got a little chip on your shoulder, but that's all right. But it was really painful then to see the fall and the way the businesses downsized and how foreign competition had a profound impact, or people going to other states. And you always just wonder what will ever take the place. And you realize now that a vision like this that's been realized with our ribbon cutting today, we found the future. We found the building for places like this because it can launch people in so many different directions. It's not just one industry, one job, one career. It puts people with stackable credentials and they get the skills they need quickly to step into the jobs that our employers are just begging for. A decade ago when I had the conversations with employers, what is your biggest challenge? It wasn't high taxes, it wasn't this and that, it wasn't high energy. It was always, we can't find the workers with the skills we need. And that is even more profound because we have workers who have been displaced, whether it is foreign competition or sometimes they're replaced by technology. And I can't tell you how many factory floors I walked on, and my grandpa worked at Bellum Steel, my dad worked at Bellum Steel. So many jobs have been automated where there's just a foreman pushing a button and letting all the work be done by robots. Well, guess what? Someone needs to know how to tell those robots what to do. So that's the next level of career challenges that we have to face and meet them. So when I continue my work as the governor of the state of New York, recruiting businesses here, I can tell them as one of my selling points for upstate New York and the Finger Lakes. It's beautiful, weather's always gorgeous, energy costs are low, cost of living is low, quality of life is off the charts high because you have access to so many spectacular amenities, a vibrant downtown, the Finger Lakes, the wineries, Lake Ontario, it's spectacular. But also when I can also layer into that, you know, you also realize we have the most highly educated people concentrated in one area because of the incredible educational institutions we have, but we're also drilling down into the skills that you, Mr. or Mrs. Employer, Ms. Employer, are saying you need, and tell us what you need and we'll get it taught. That's how you micro-target and you make that pitch to employers that they cannot turn down because nobody else is going to offer what we can offer in a place like this. So I am so proud of what we've done here. Yes, we've come a long way, but it's $11.4 million, 50,000 square feet. Wow, that's a lot of space. But every foot of it is going to be used to help someone move their feet further toward a better future. And that is what I'm so energized about as well. And give them the skills they need, give them an opportunity to take care of their families, as the president mentioned, but also just lift people up at a time when people feel like they've been knocked down so much. You know, the COVID just doesn't seem to go away, and now inflation. You know, you might have had a little increase in your wages for the first time in a generation. All of a sudden, it's robbed at the pump. Rochester almost $5 a gallon for gas. I mean, and just, you know, can't find baby formula anymore. I've got a newborn grandchild. I'm worried about formula. I mean, it's just a lot of stress on people. The stress they shouldn't have to have is whether or not they're going to be ready for the jobs that they want to take. And this is the answer to that challenge. And that's why I'm so proud to be here today. And we're going to continue making these investments, $350 million. $350 million in workforce development. And I'll just, as an aside, those of you who've heard me talk about workforce development, I talk about it nonstop. I always did as lieutenant governor. I don't even like the phrase workforce development. It seems kind of like, it doesn't have a flashy, I mean, what does it really mean? I know what it means, but it just doesn't have that, you know, that sizzle. So if any of you can come up with a better marketing plan to tell me how to redefine market, you know, just work with me on that. I put that out there before, and no one's come back with me on that, but I am very clever. I actually have some names for your baby giraffe. Nobody's asked me. I was going to offer my name until I found out it was a he, but that's all right. But you know, but I can help you with that one. Although it's probably like wading into like a quarterback controversy or something. Maybe I just better step aside from that one and let the locals handle that. But I am really proud of what we've announced here. You know, the investments at the zoo, with the birth of a new baby who needed a wonderful home, but $40 million investment in the zoo in the High Falls State Park. I mean, these are investments that'll be there for generations and make such a difference. Frontier Field, we help with that as well. We mentioned our investment there, additional $10 million on top of what we'd already offered in the Interloop, just getting the Interloop done, another $100 million. So I want to say also that we have so many other projects that we're focusing on, and we know how to do them all at the same time. We're very busy, but we have a great office that knows how to do this and keep working with our local partners. And to the local elected officials, I thank you for believing in this community, never giving up through some tough times, because we are coming back. And I'm so proud to be governor of a state to oversee and be in this position to witness the comeback of places like the Finger Lakes. And it's starting in buildings like this. So thank you, everyone who had a profound impact on making this happen. I think we're just getting warmed up. I will come back anytime I get invited to ribbon cuttings up here. You know, my heart is in this community deeply. I love the people here, the energy, the sense of possibility, and just this sense of optimism. It is so important at this time. We have to be positive about the future, and then it's contagious. And then the community starts feeling better. We have challenges. We're continuing to deploy state police resources to help with the crime issue in the streets, and I'm proud that we are literally out there working with our Rochester PD because they need some extra help. We're focused on making people feel safe, and not just feel safe, but be safe. That is a huge priority. And the business community, want to keep working closely with them so they feel welcome here. So we know what we have to do. But I thank all of you for being here today for this significant milestone. I can't wait to see a robot cut the ribbon as well, as long as we're not all displayed, because I won't have much to do if I can't be cutting ribbons anymore. So don't do. I still like cutting. I still like the human touch there. So thank you very much, and look forward to our next speaker, our great county executive, Adam Bellum.
Thank you, Governor. That was amazing. We appreciate your support. And Monroe County, as the college's sponsor, worked alongside MCC, and other partners did as well, every step of the way, and to ensure that our project stayed on course and on budget, from obtaining labor agreements to designing the Forward Center, getting bids for contractors, and right through the construction and completion. So we are grateful to Monroe County Executive Adam Bellum for his leadership and advocacy. He is one of MCC's most vocal advocates and strongest partners in advancing workforce development. Governor, we'll have to keep working on new language. He understands the importance of the role MC plays in creating better and stronger futures. Through the county's Empower program in partnership with MCC, together, we respond to the evolving needs of the local workforce. So please join me in thanking and welcoming Monroe County Executive Adam Bellum.
Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Bernana, for your leadership here at MCC, for that warm introduction and your vision here. This partnership really is amazing, and just the success of MCC, I think, is going to be the success of Monroe County. So thank you for your leadership here. Governor Hochul, I cannot thank you enough for being here again. It's a pleasure to be with you again this morning. The last time we were at MCC together, you outlined a truly astonishing investment here in our community in Monroe County that aligns perfectly with the 4 pillars that we continuously talk about that are part of our recovery. It's the economic and workforce development. It's the infrastructure, public health, it's public safety, all these projects that we keep talking about. And these projects are already having this incredible impact here. We're just a few months after the governor's last visit. Here we are cutting a ribbon on a facility that's going to fundamentally change the way we do workforce development here in our region. And it's going to fundamentally benefit the future growth of our economy. And we have Governor Hochul to thank for that. Our governor gets it. Economic recovery, you think about what is economic development. Economic development is jobs. It's putting people to work so they can support themselves and support their families and build a community, and that's what this Forward Center is all about. So Governor Hochul, thank you. Thank you for your investments in Rochester. This is a facility that knows that our economic recovery and our recovery from the pandemic, this facility is going to make sure that everyone who calls our community home has that chance to succeed. I'm also grateful to have our interim Chancellor, Stanley, with us to mark what is nothing short of a game changer in the way we do workforce development in the county. And also thank you, Susan Dundon and the Ralph C. Wilson Foundation, for your contributions to help transform the future of workforce development. We sincerely appreciate the devotion to the people of our region and your help in revolutionizing our economy. It's also a pleasure to be here, as always, with President Lamar from the county legislature, Howard Mafucci, and my colleagues there. The opening of the Finger Lakes Workforce Development Center is a new chapter in our economic history. the high-tech businesses that are flocking to Monroe County to open their operations, and many more who are already here. They're already expanding. Bob Duffy knows this. Matt Hurlbut knows this. And everywhere I go, the business owners or managers, as the governor said, they all have a common refrain. We need jobs. We need workers. I mean, workers. They have jobs. We need workers. They need especially those skilled workers for those jobs that exist now. We know those jobs openings are here, but we need to train those individuals to connect them with those quality employers. Again, it's about connecting those boxes, people who are looking for work, the training that we're doing, and the jobs that exist, and streamlining that process. Here, we're going to deliver the workforce needed for those jobs of today, and also, just as importantly, those jobs for tomorrow. So when we're in a facility like this with the advanced process controls, artificial intelligence, augmented virtual reality, think of these jobs of the future, the jobs we don't even know exist yet, right? We're training to our workforce, our young people, for jobs that we don't even know what they're going to be. The economy, the technology is changing so quickly. And that's also why facilities like this that can move and be flexible with the changing economics that we have is so important, because I have two young kids myself. They're 11 and 12 years old. They're in school right now, and they're going to be training for an economy and a job market that we don't even know what it's going to look like. So we need, like the Forward Center and MCC, to help prepare them for a future that we don't even know what it is. And so as we're thinking about those in-demand skill jobs today, we're thinking about those what will be in-demand job skills of the future. We need to thank MCC, and we want to thank the state of New York for this incredible, incredible investment that they're bringing to our region. So, Governor, thank you again for this incredible investment you're making here in our community, for that vision of thinking about these future jobs and how we're training our young people and also workers today for that economy of the future. It's so incredibly important to the future of our region. So thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, County Executive Bellum. And under Interim Chancellor Dr. Debra Stanley's leadership, Suny is leading the way in meeting the growing needs to expand our state's workforce. In 2019, the Suny Board of Trustees unanimously approved $6 million, representing over half of the $11.4 million project budget, toward the design and the construction of the Forward Center. The trustees' support through the New York Suny 2020 Challenge Grant Program was crucial to the project's future. SUNY's investment in the Forward Center opens the doors to high quality, affordable education to more New Yorkers. We remain grateful to SUNY for their enthusiastic, steadfast support for our students, our faculty, and staff. Please welcome SUNY Interim Chancellor, Dr. Debra Stanley.
Thank you, President Bernanna. It's such a pleasure to be here, to see this facility firsthand, and to thank Governor Hochul. You know, I keep hearing about being thanked for stepping up and taking this position, but in fact, I am so proud to be Chancellor at a time like this. Of course, in my first couple of weeks, actually the week before I became Interim Chancellor, the governor had her State of the State address. And in the State of the State address, I realized that she has big plans for the State University of New York, and we are the better for it. And part of her plans for the State University of New York are facilities like this, are extending the reach of SUNY across this great state to everyone who resides in this great state. So thank you, Governor Hochul, because we are stepping up to your challenges. We are making sure that we're going to make the most of those investments from the state of New York. This is indeed a beautiful facility. I can't imagine that we are talking about, unfortunately, workforce development, but we will come up with another name, I'm sure. But, you know, it's really not only another name, we have a new way of looking at what we're doing as well. when we extend what we do with micro-credentials, and when we talk about stackable credentials, and we talk about partnerships with the employers in the region and all of the critical investment that they're making in staying in upstate New York and around New York State, we have to think about how do we make the most of it. And facilities like this are becoming a new front door. We keep our doors wide open. This is the way to access not only this institution and what this institution can so beautifully do. Wait till you see some of the equipment in all of these rooms. It is just remarkable. But also bringing in a horizontal and a vertical integration of higher education across the spectrum, public and private higher education, thinking about corporations and businesses in the region, thinking about government partnerships, as you can see with the investment that's made, philanthropic partnerships that are, of course, recognized here. It is so important to take into account K-12 when we're thinking about what about the workforce of the future. All of that can happen when facilities like this come into play, and I'm so grateful that Suny is the convener because we are designed for it. That is our mission. It will always be our mission. But before we grab the scissors, I want to think about, the training that will go on here. It's an extraordinary level of collaboration that went into forming this facility, and I want to recognize that. It is that forethought, that vision. There are so many visionaries in this room that are part of that and need our thanks. Don't stop here. Continue what you're doing. We really need you to lift this and then take it to the next level. Take it to the next facility. So we talk about horizontal integration, we talk about vertical integration. One of the things about the pandemic that we're all looking for post-pandemic. First of all, we want to be post-pandemic, right? Governor Hochul, we want to be post-pandemic. And we're hoping that that's occurring now. But in any event, we've learned a great deal about even how to live with the pandemic. But as we move forward, we're thinking about how did we get through the hardest times of the pandemic, and what did it leave us with? What are the lessons that it left us with? I think some of the lessons that it left us with is that we all have similar desires for the future. And we know that going it alone doesn't work. Silos don't work. Breaking down those silos, holding hands, holding each other up, taking that elbow and pushing each other forward, that's what works. Pooling our assets, pooling our investments, pooling our ideas, those are the things that bring us forward. And in a facility like this, that's what's doing it for us. So I'm not going to take up too much more of your time other than to say, I am incredibly proud to be leading Suny at this time. I think the leaders in Suny are leading me. I have been in Suny a long time, and I really respect leaders like President Bert Nana, who really have thought about their institutions and know so much about what can make them even greater, what can make their missions even more important to the students that come through those doors. And we need to just take advantage of everything we hear and everything we know about what we can do to get that done. So thank you, everyone who's been part of this from the beginning. You've done a great job. I know that 2,500 students in the next 3 years coming through this facility, that is going to make a huge impact on this region. And it can only get better from there. So as an asset and as a wonderful example about the future, an absolutely wonderful example that we can lift and take elsewhere around the state of New York, and Suny can do it because we are everywhere around the state of New York. We will be watching, we will be listening, and we will be applauding everything that you do. Thank you. I'd like to invite Susan Dundon from the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation. Thank you for everything you've done.
Well, I am really excited to be here with you today representing the trustees of the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation. The foundation is a grant-making organization dedicated to improving the quality of life for the people of Southeast Michigan and Western New York, including Rochester and Monroe County. One of our key focus areas is preparing for success. In that focus area, we look to support children, youth, and adults with opportunities for development, exploration, learning, and growth so that they can reach their full potential. We all know, I think, that post-secondary education and training is now the most reliable pathway to economic mobility. In our grant making, we look to lift up programs that offer the technical and critical thinking skills as well as hands-on training and experience that people need to grow and adapt throughout their lives and careers. Exactly the type of training and skills that they'll find here at the Forward Center. So Monroe Community College has been a great partner in our work already. One of our first opportunities to partner with the college was in support of youth apprenticeship and career technical education. We've supported the college to work with employers to identify the in-demand jobs of today and tomorrow and the skills required to succeed in those types of jobs. So today, I am thrilled that the Wilson Foundation is part of the expansive coalition that we see in this room of public and private sector stakeholders that have joined forces to build the Forward Center. And I'm especially pleased to announce that the foundation has made a $3.2 million grant to Monroe Community College to support the startup operations and equipment at the Forward Center. This is an investment. This is an investment in a truly innovative workforce development, we're going to keep calling that until we have a better name, but I think it does need a better name, model that will lead directly to high-quality jobs for Rochester residents, and that we believe will be a model for success across Western New York and beyond. So congratulations to MCC, to Governor Hochul, and all the partners on moving this project from a grand vision to today's grand opening. All of us at the foundation look forward to hearing the success stories from the many thousands of people who will graduate from the programs at the Forward Center, and to seeing the contributions the center will make to the competitiveness of the Western New York regional economy. Thank you.
Told you it was a great day. And Susan, we thank you. And we thank the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation for your generous donation of $3.2 million to support our efforts across the Forward Center's efforts. Well, as they say, it takes a village. And the architects, designers, construction contractors and subcontractors, project managers, and many MCC talented staff members. They've done a remarkable job in transforming undeveloped space on 2 floors into a welcoming, innovative learning environment. Please kindly hold your applause until after everyone is recognized. So the Forward Center has been expertly designed by the architectural firm SWBR in downtown Rochester with input from MCC students, faculty, and staff. So special thanks to Stephen Furnace. LaChase Construction led this construction project in an extraordinary manner, in that it came in, we like this, on time and on budget. So special thanks to project executive Terry Vince-Luden. Dormitory Authority of the State of New York skillfully managed the procurement and delivery of furniture, fixtures, and equipment despite the disruption and supply chain challenges. And my heartfelt gratitude extends to the many MCC dedicated staff and faculty who provided oversight and expertise to the construction project in so many different ways. A special thank you to Bob Cunningham, who even came out of retirement to ensure this project was successfully completed, so that we can thank you all for your amazing work Will those MCC employees and representatives from each of these outstanding partners at least stand, wave, but please allow us to recognize you at this time. Thank you so much. Last but not least, our partners in business, industry, and the community have been gracious and generous with their input and time to help shape the vision of the Ford Center. Extensive input from more than 80 regional businesses through focus groups was integrated into a resulting study that informed the design and program development of the Ford Center. Several businesses have already committed to accessing training here for their employees. We look forward to growing our relationships. Together, we will inspire the way forward and get more people into the workforce, creating stronger communities and bolstering the regional economy. So at this time, our ribbon cutting will begin, and there are two parts to our ribbon cutting. After the ribbon cutting, we'll then make sure that we get folks directed into the lab space. So at this time, I believe we need to have our VIPs. I'm hoping I didn't mess that up. Yes, please, make sure we get our VIPs. I'm told you know who you are. We're gonna do a traditional ribbon cutting, and then we'll have a second ribbon cutting. So Governor.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated while we cut the ribbon.
I'm walking, I'm not running.
On the microphone, I do want to draw your attention to the window here. We have a cutting of our robot is going to demonstrate its skills in cutting a second ribbon at this time. And so we can kind of gather around the window there.